Pokemon Trainers Academy, Episode 23, Breeder with a Tough Side. Amber woke up Monday morning with someone staring over her. She squinted her eyes and saw it was only Flora. Then she realized Flora didn't stare over her head every morning. "Wake up, Amber," Flora said. You don't want to be late for school." "Flora," Amber groaned, "you seem awfully excited." "Of course I am," Flora cheered. "There's a Pokemon breeder visiting the school today. Why wouldn't I be excited?" She twirled around in her floral print dress and matching pink bow. "How do I look?" "I'm sure you look fine," Amber replied. "Does it matter?" "Yes, it does," Flora said. "I have to look best for the breeder." "Okay, but does appearance matter?" "Yes, this could be one of my greatest mentors for my desired career path. I want to make a good first impression." "Whatever," Amber said. "I'll start getting ready." That afternoon, Professor Skull's students were greeted by Skull himself and a young woman with her red hair and a ponytail. "Good afternoon, students," Skull said. "Today we have a visitor, and thank goodness it's the last one. Miss Kennedy White." "Good afternoon, Miss White," the student said. "Good afternoon, y'all," Kennedy said. "My name's Kennedy, and I'm a Pokemon breeder. Let me tell you about my job. It's not very common, and most of you won't call it interesting, but it's still a fun and very rewarding career." But half of the class was already asleep. At least that's what it seemed like. And as she kept talking, the students put their heads down. Even Amber, whom Skull said was the eager learner of the class, slowly lowered her head to the desk and closed her eyes. Kennedy sighed and said, "Not again." She turned to Skull and said, "At least you're not asleep." "I don't think there's any waking this class," Skull said. "But for the other classes, how about making your presentation more interesting? I recommend using a deep, smooth, buttery Professor Skull voice." "I can't do a deep, smooth, buttery Professor Skull voice," Kennedy replied. "Then why don't you get a more interesting job?" Kennedy's expression turned to one of pure fire. "Whoa, calm down, you manky," Skull said. "I'm just saying that not every kid here wants to be a breeder. Maybe you'll find one in another class who does." "But it's my job to convince them to chill. You don't need to convince them to do anything. Just talk." An hour and a half later, Kennedy had to give her lecture for Professor Witz's class. Once again, everyone fell asleep during her speech. Kennedy's yelling of, "Oh, come on!" only succeeded in waking up Professor Witz. "What is it?" Professor Witz asked. "The entire class fell asleep on me again," Kennedy complained. Kennedy, "This is the 5th time this has happened to me today." Kennedy, "Thank goodness it wasn't 6. Sad as they would yell every time one person even looked remotely tired, but I could tell they all wanted to collapse on their desks." Kennedy, "I'm beginning to feel unloved." "Kennedy!" "What?" Kennedy asked. Professor Witz pointed at the class. "There's still one student awake," he said. The one student with her head up and looking tentatively at Kennedy was none other than Flora. "Hey," Kennedy said to Flora, "what's your name?" Flora's face lit up. She sprang out of her desk and walked to Kennedy. "I'm glad you asked," she said. "My name is Florinina Natural Harmonia Gropia Sianca Gleamy, but for convenience you can call me Flora. I want to be a Pokemon breeder, just like you." "Flora, you've just made my day," Kennedy replied. "Since no one else is interested, do you want to have a little one-on-one conversation on Pokemon breeding?" "Would I?" Flora cheered. "Okay, but we'll have to keep our voices down," Kennedy said. "We don't want to wake your classmates." Later that afternoon, Flora skipped back to her room. "You're looking awfully chipper," Amber said. "What's got you so happy?" "I got this." Flora showed Amber a slip of paper with Kennedy's phone number on it. "And I had a one-on-one talk with Kennedy." "You actually stayed awake through that talk?" Amber asked. Flora nodded. "My entire class was asleep halfway through." "Mine was too," Flora said. "And so did all the other classes, I think." Amber laughed. "I can't believe that out of all 180 students here, you're the only one who stayed awake through that talk." "We breeders are a few but hardy bunch," Flora said. She felt like she was special, the only person like herself in the entire school. She couldn't wait to see Kennedy again.